I'm Missy Day, and thank you for tuning in to the What's Your Story podcast. And with me is my partner,
Michelle Hausbeck. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is actually, I'm just going to be honest, this is our second take. So this should be a fantastic show for y'all. And with us today is...
I'm Janelle.
Yay! Janelle.
I'm the sidekick for today.
Just Janelle.
Just Janelle.
Like Cher.
Seinfeld. Hello. Cher. Madonna.
I like that. I think you just need a single name.
I do.
Janelle.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think so
I like
too.
it.
Done.
Yes.
Rebranded.
Well, this is from the branding queen, so I guess that's what I'm doing now.
Just Janelle.
Just Janelle.
Just
I like
Janelle.
it. I like it.
Goes along with your wink
like
and your
it.
side eye.
Yeah.
You have to go over
Which
to
I
YouTube to see that.
Came up with.
So, why are you here?
That's a good question. This is a good question.
Tell us a
I
little
was
bit
told
about.
to be here, and I'm here. I'm here because I've heard all about this podcast, and I wanted to be a part of it. So that's why I'm here.
Yay, we're so
Sweet.
glad.
Yes. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about how you transform businesses. And also,
yes.
I'm just going to say this right now. If you need anything in your business or you want people in anything, if you need anything, you need to just reach out to Janelle.
She is so connected, it's redonkulous. She's the Rolodex you want.
Rolodex. That's kind of aging us, but
Oh.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for
Yes.
that.
Sorry, millennials.
I love people, and I think I've just really kind of just over the years put together my Rolodex of people of all types of businesses. Mm-hmm. And then I created my own business to offer that to business owners. Felt like it was a need, and it was everybody needs it in the sense of everybody kind of starts their business with the craft or the whatever it is that they are doing, but the sales portion of it is needed, and that might not be a salesperson type personality, right? Mm-hmm. So I have the personality for that, and for me, I'm a hunter, so I'm always looking for what people need, and I feel like I'm already out there among people that I'm like, oh, she needs this one, they need that, and it just is connecting the dots. So because I'm aware of it, and I always ask, what do you need? How can I help you? Then that is just really kind of what forms my day.
So give us a rundown if you had to describe what you do for people in your business so we are really crystal clear.
Okay. So my business is two different things. It's consulting. I can come in and guide you and tell you, advise you on what to do for your business and where to find it.
Cool.
Right? Or I can actually find it for you. So some people just don't have that, right? So a lot of it I find in my business is more the advisory role. It's going in, breaking down their business model. What are you doing? Everybody kind of has 10 different things that they want to do. But at the end of the day, what's those things that are going to really make you some money, right? Where do you want to take your business? So it's pretty intensive, half day session with someone to really have an idea of what you're doing and what you really want to do with it. We have a lot of, like I said, different lanes that we can tap into because we know it, right? We start a business of something that we know.
Right.
We know a lot about it. But in order to make it very direct, to generate money, because we talk about this all the time. There's business owners that, have no idea really how to make money from the business that they want to do. Mm-hmm. So I come in and give suggestions and guidance on this is what we need to dial in on. Not to say you can't do some of those other things that you want to do, but that's not where your bread and butter is going to come from. So right. I love coming in and breaking it down and then saying, okay, great, here's the buckets that we're going to focus on. And here's how many, I'm sales driven. So sales has been my life over 30 years of my working life, right? So for me, I've always had goals. I've always had to work with numbers. What is that number every month? What is that number every year? What is the increase year over year, right? The business planning stuff. So for me, I like to come in and give that kind of direction as well. Set those numbers. And when everybody sees it, into the awareness part of it, when you see it, it seems actually easier to get than what you think, because you've got this big picture and you think, oh my gosh, it's so overwhelming, I don't know how I'm going to do it or where I'm going to start. And I break it down so simple that I'm like, oh, you got this. We just need to get the 5 of these. If it's a monthly subscription somebody has for something, or how many clients do you need in your marketing side, sometimes it's not that many.
Right.
It's really not, right? And then when we figure out what those packages are and what that price point is on each of those, then we go, okay, well, you only need 5 of those. Do you think you could accomplish that quicker?
Yeah.
For sure, because there's clear direction.
Yeah.
Right?
That is such a value add, because most small business owners, like you're saying, they do whatever they do, or multiple things, but that's what they're an expert in. It's not the business side of it.
Right.
So...
And that's okay, because I think we all have some part of our business that is not in our lane.
Right.
Right. And that's when you start outsourcing. You hear a lot of that in the past couple of years, right? Mm-hmm. And I've done that myself, and I love it, because I feel like the perception of having somebody do that for you, we tend to think it's going to cost us $1 million. Like, I'm a business owner, I'm just starting, I have no money. But when you realize the amount of time you're spending on those things versus the person who is the expert and can do it in an hour,
right,
and it takes me 4, I'm actually saving money.
Yep.
Right? So I'm a huge advocate of outsourcing those things that you cannot do or don't want to do. And let's just face it, there's things we don't want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? And that's okay. Don't beat yourself up, and don't keep that going, because it just is paralyzing you and you're wasting your time when you could be focused on really kind of building the business.
Yeah.
So I just encourage everybody, just if you feel that, ask around, figure out how much that cost is, and I guarantee you it's a fraction of what it would really cost for your own time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you have practically built the story bureau. And the great thing about you, when you refer somebody, is you've already set them up. And so I'm on the phone call and I'm like, do you have Janelle told me I have a 1-sheet, I have the websites ready to go, I have my headshot, so what do we do now? And it's like, this is awesome.
That's right. It's like Papa John's, right? Here's the pizza, just put it in the oven.
Here you go, Missy. Put them on some stages.
But you have a really unique ability to see past things and to determine what we're not saying about our business, which is really, I think, is unique for how you help people.
Well, and again, because that is what I've had to do for my own business forever, right? That's what we do in sales. And so for me, it's very simple to identify. I just have to ask the right questions, right? And that's what I do. So, and in knowing that and getting a clear idea of what it is you want for the bureau, which we've had those conversations, I ask you that, so I'm clear on it. Now when I'm having a conversation, that's just freeing you up to go do what you want to do, right? And those are maybe those things where it's going to take a little bit of time to even vet them, right? I'm already doing that because I already know what your expectation is. If it doesn't fit, then it's not going to move forward.
I actually shared with the mastermind today about how I really drug my feet in making the decision to reach out and hire somebody. And I was saying that we were having the conversation and that you were asking well, what do they need to do? And, how many hours are you thinking? And, what is the thing?
Totally
and I'm just going down this line, I think, oh, okay. And then it's and she's like, bam. Well, that's kind of what I'm already doing.
Talk about an excellent salesperson. I'm just going to walk you right into hiring me.
I did. I was like, well, I think that is me. But I was like, if she's looking for somebody, I was like, am I missing somebody? And that's why I just started asking the questions I don't think she realizes. But I mean, again, that's because you have to do that. And I think we need to do that in every aspect, no matter what business we have, right? We got to identify who's our client, Who's our customer? And you have to have those kinds of questions to really be clear on whether or not that is going to be a good fit or not.
Right.
And is this going to work for what, are they going to be good for that? So I think that's in any business, to be honest. And I think that it's just, it's that discovery, right? And figuring out what it is and then finding it.
Yeah. Well, and I think the importance of asking the right questions, because sometimes people don't know what they don't know, and they just think whatever they're doing is the only answer.
Yeah.
But asking the right questions is very important.
Yeah.
And I know
listening
that you do that.
to what they say, and I'm huge on that too, is not just listening so that you're going to respond with what I already have in my head, because I didn't really have anything in my head when I was asking her the questions. I was trying to draw her out specific, because she said she'd already interviewed some people, it wasn't going to work. So then I was like, well, what's the missing component? What was it that didn't?
It wasn't
and I think
you.
but I think I asked you, like, why did that not work? And you gave me some reason, but in my mind, then I'm like, well, then it's not the right question to the right people, right? To find out if that was I don't know. So that's what I was asking.
I was saying because they didn't understand story, and I was saying if they don't understand story, they're not going to understand the business.
Right. Well, I'm just so thankful that you're working together, because
yeah, I'm excited.
You're just a killer.
I'm excited about it. Well, because I do tell my story. I tell people all the time I'm in the bureau, and so to them, they're like, tell me more. What is this, right? So, and then and everybody wants to be a speaker, which we're finding, which is great. Keep coming.
But now you got to go through.
But some of them aren't ready, right? And that is part of the discovery as well. It's like, tell me more about this. Okay, I know you have it in you to be on stage, but you haven't had that position where you've had to tell the story, right, in that fashion. So if they don't fit for that, then I automatically say there's an academy.
Yep.
And let's get you started there to even see if that's what's something you want to proceed with, because maybe they don't. And that's your choice, right? So you're guiding them to become that speaker. So there's two facets to that when I'm talking to people, for sure. But people when they see me kind of more active in different things, they're always asking, what's going on? I see you doing new stuff. Tell me more. So, and I love that, because I want them to ask and be inquisitive, right?
And everybody speaks so well and highly of you that I think that's a big thing in today's business world, because there's a lot of people that are out there and they have exposure and they're doing all the things, but nobody likes them. You know what I mean?
Thank you for liking me. I don't want to be that person.
But you're very genuine and authentic, and I think people like that about you.
I appreciate that. And I genuinely want to help people.
Yeah.
Like, that is my high. And I think that's probably where I probably suffer a little bit in my business, is it's like I want to give, right? And so learning to taper that back and say, but there's a cost to that, and then this is the program for it, right? Which is, I'm thankful for Missy to kind of dialing that in with me. So we all veer, so it's not just, everybody. It happens to everybody.
Right.
So being aware of it, though, and going, okay, I need to reel that back in and figure out what it is, right? So, but again, I think it is definitely giving, and I've seen the reward from that so many times over that I'm like, that's the way to go, because you get it back for yourself personally, which I think people fail because they're so focused on their business that they're just looking for, if I give it, then I'm going to get it back in my business. I'm going to get a client. I never look at it that way.
No. It's
more out of the kindness of my heart that I want to do that. But then it also builds a reputation as well, right? And to me, that's a big component. In sales, we live off of our reputations.
Yep.
Right.
I'm in a world where I've got a lot of competitors. We all do the exact same thing. So who likes who best? You know what I mean? It's like, that's what it comes down to, because everybody has the same services. Everybody has the same thing. If you're in an industry that has, multiple types of sales reps in it, there is really no difference other than the person. Right. So I think I've just learned that along the way, that it is, if I'm there to really bring value, honestly, then I get the clients.
Yeah.
And they
Right.
see that because I'm going to stand out differently than the guy that's like, or woman, I want to pick on guys, that is like, you know, like that vulture that is just like, they just want the deal. To me, it's bigger than the deal.
Yeah, you're not doing it for a payday by any means. Now, granted, like you were saying, like, yeah, you have to get paid for a living, but that is not where your heart is. It's not, that's not front.
No.
It's like, I genuinely want to help you and refer you and or make connections.
Right.
So.
Well, and I think it leads to other opportunities. So those opportunities are the things that pay me. So just because I do something doesn't mean I'm looking for that payout from this person.
Right.
Because whatever I'm involved in with that opens up, I can't tell you how many other doors.
Yep.
That's where I get paid.
Right.
And I think that's, and I've learned that kind of just even through this process. And then I'm writing a book at the same time, which is about all of these things. And it's kind of digging into my story and my journey and finding those examples of who I've connected. And it's because we don't get to sit back and think about that every day, right? So now I'm really intentional on reflecting back and going, okay, but, or even asking people I know I've connected. I'm like, okay, can you tell me whatever happened with, remind me with this and that. And it's been amazing because everybody's just giving me like, no, this went to this and connected to that. And I'm like, sometimes I don't even know what happened after that.
Yeah.
Now I know what's happening. So I'm adding that into the examples so that everyone can actually see what that return looks like.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that part of the book, to be honest. That's like the best part.
I belonged to a networking group here for many, many years, and with the referrals, they had tiers. So, like, direct referral, like, okay, I'm going to refer Missy to Janelle.
Right.
But then it continues after that.
Okay.
And you actually got to see sometimes, like, I was down to, like, a tier 6 to where it's, you know, like the Kevin Bacon thing, right?
Yeah.
This leads to that, to that, to that, to that, to that.
Yeah.
And it's so cool
Yeah.
to see what one connection can do.
Yeah. That's why I think it's
And
important.
to not be, like you're saying, not be afraid of the ask, because, like, take Nina, for example. So she spoke at Like Minded Lunch a long time ago. We've known each other, you know, not well, but we knew of each other. And then I've seen her at the Christian networking.
Yeah.
And I would have never asked her about the Bureau or ever approached her about it or anything.
Yeah.
And then here you refer her, and she asked me, she said, how come I didn't know about this? And well,
Yeah, but I think that is, I mean, and I think it's to anybody that's around you should be aware of people's stories, right? And they should be aware of what people can offer in that. So I think I just probably saw it as she's going to be great at this. Like, how come she's not in it, right? So that conversation was with her at first, you know, and she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, you just got to talk to Missy. Like, wrap your head around it. Whether you join today or next year, it doesn't matter, but start wrapping your head around
She's gonna
that
be good.
opportunity. She's going to be great.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's just like with Rashad. I mean, she calls me after this networking thing, and she said, I just talked to this football player, and, you know, and I'm like, what?
I know.
Well, you officially announced it, so officially announce it again.
Yeah.
So because of Janelle and her ninja networking connection abilities, so we signed Rashad Jennings, who's a former NFL player. Yay!
Whee!
To the Speaker Bureau. And so he's going to be the first person to take in the sports lane for us. And we're very excited. So thank you for that.
Yes. I'm excited too. I'm like, I was giddy. I think I called you right away. I was like, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this. But to the point of the ask, right? Because I was in the audience and he was talking and there was some comment that had been made and somebody said, oh, you need to be on a TV show or something. And he was like, well, I wish I had that kind of agent or whatever. And I'm thinking, what? So I'm picking up on things, and I guess that's my point to everybody, is you've got to really be listening and pick up on those things that can benefit somebody that you know, right? What are they looking, and I knew Missy's looking for people, right? So that's always in the back of my mind. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, do I go up and talk to this guy? Like, that was the first thought I had. And I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm like, I'm doing it. I was like one of the first ones up there. I was like, hey. Because of course he's like tall. And he's looking at me and I said, are you joking? You don't have an agent? He's like, nope. I said, are you lying? He's like, nope. And I said, well, I have one for you. I said, I'm the ambassador, and my job is to find people like you and put you with an agent. And he couldn't stop hugging me. It was the funniest thing. Like, he just kept, and I was like, and my heart was beating, not because I was so excited about what was the potential. What? All because I asked.
Yeah.
I could have really just sat back, met him. Hey, hi. Thanks for the book. You know what I mean? Like everyone else did.
Right.
But to me, I was like, we're going to ask. It's either a yes or a no.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if he was going to respond back because, people are nice, So I took his book. I took a picture and I tagged him on it, and he DM'd me and said, whatever the messages were. And we just went back and forth. And I'm like, okay, this is happening, Missy. This is happening.
So good.
So, I mean, I think it's just, we assume that things are certain ways, right? And so we assumed that he would have already had an agent.
Right.
The fact that he didn't, it just kind of opened everything up. So I've been doing some more research. He doesn't know this yet. I've been doing some more research just on some athletes and kind of seeing what they've got going on. And some of them don't have it. You can tell they don't. So
Yeah.
I think there's, in any industry, it's not just that world, but I think there's people that have so much to share in a story, but then also their knowledge in the industry that they're in, or to be impactful with somebody else's business. Because I feel ultimately everybody has the same structure in a business. It's really kind of the same processes, right? We're just selling something different. So how can somebody really, impact you? Something might resonate versus you, So I think everyone should be aware. Everybody needs to be on the lookout for anybody that they know around them that could benefit from an introduction. Just make the introduction. It's huge. And then you'll feel great about it, you know?
Well, if people would like, business owners would like to reach out to you so you could impact their business in a positive way, how do they contact you?
Just Janelle. No.
Yes,
just Janelle.
Well,
you can reach out to my agent. She knows where to find me. Or I'm on LinkedIn. So you just go on LinkedIn and find Janelle Kennedy, and that's me. Or on Instagram, and that's Janelle Kennedy _ Vegas Connector. My videos and information's on there.
and she is the super connector.
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining us today. This was fun.
This was fun. Thank you.
I can't wait till the next time.
Thank you all for tuning in, and don't forget to check out Just Janelle.
Just Janelle.
Just Janelle.
Bye.